this is Yo Sensei. In today's tutorial, you will learn the workflow of creating rendered images using Rhino and Twinmotion. It goes like preparing Rhino file, exporting the file as FBX, basic navigation in Twinmotion, applying material, construct context, and exporting as image. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing that you want to do is open this file in Rhino, the file that you can find from the description section below. And we have this file. So this file has a canopy with this kind of floor piece, and it's got some glass type of element, foundation, some chairs and people. So first thing that you need to do is to really organize this file into layers with material. So Rhino's layer system works in a way so that this is a layer name, this checkbox is current layer, this is layer on, off, and lock. And then this one, the square is display color. So if you click on it and change the color, it will change the color in on the shaded mode. And then next part is very important. This part is material. So this is how you set. Now, oops, change it to metal, and then change the color of this layer to red. Then when you actually show this on the rendered view, this layer is going to have this material. So this is a good way to organize your materiality in the file that you use between Rhino and Twinmotion. So so we can just go ahead and just set up all of these layers manually. But the easier thing to do is there is a template for a material. So you can just import that file. So in Rhino, type import and go into this material template also is going to be distributed on the YouTube link. So just get it from that folder. So when we import this material folder, material file, this one is going to give you all kinds of layers with preset materials assigned already to the layer. So all you need to do is select these objects, and then this one is going to be concrete on the ground. So you can change it to object layer to be concrete. And this purple one, you can go find something like metal aluminum, and this one can be metal black frame, and then this one can be glass, and we can just play with some of the different ones, like plastic gray shiny for this one, and then plastic gray matte. So you can like really try different types of tile. And what it does is that it's actually really not doing anything, because we are going to apply materials inside of Twinmotion. So selecting objects, right clicking on the layer, and then change object layer. Change object layer. So in this case, people that we have here, we are not using. We are using Twinmotion's people. So you can just go into the layer and then turn it off. Okay, and so that's first part. You import the file, you import the materials template, and then apply objects into it. One thing that you need to be careful is your object should have thickness, and if it doesn't, then it's going to give you some issues. So be careful about that. So the next thing I do is select this, and then I guess I don't need bounding box, so I'm just going to hide this layer. select everything, and then go to File, Export Selected. And so you can just save this file somewhere. So the file format that you are saving is motionbuilder.fbx. So fbx file. And then FBX is a mesh file format, and so it's going to be like this, and then just say okay. And then depending on how detailed your model is, this is, how this is going to be converted into mesh. So this one is a relatively simple one. So I'm gonna try to reduce the number of mesh so that the file size is going to be lighter. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. So say okay. Okay, so that concludes the Rhino part. Okay, so the next step is to open Twinmotion. So please download the latest version of Twinmotion and open it up. So 21.4 is current highest version, but try to use the newest version. Okay, so I think when you actually open this up first time, you will probably see this. And this kind of explains the basic navigation of Twinmotion. So you can use the right drag of your mouse to look around, and then holding Shift to pan, and then holding Alt key to orbit around it. And you can move to the left by A key, and then back to S key and D with right, and W forward. Up and down is Q and E. And then speed, you can change the speed by pressing 1 is slow speed, and then 2 is car speed, 3 is super fast, and 4 is really fast. So you can do that. But I think what would be useful for people like us is to change the keyboard setting to Rhino. So you can use the Rhino's basic navigation if you set it up this way. But eventually, if you use this kind of like gaming control, it's a lot faster. Okay, so we are in Twinmotion. So the first thing that you're going to do is click on import and import our FBX file from the place that we saved. And okay, and then a couple of settings. So you can collapse object by material, and then fix UV texture. I'll just click on it, and then up axis to be auto. Okay, that's how it needs to be. You need conversion on auto, so that's okay. So first, it drops a file somewhere. Right drag to find it, but it's weird. You can't typically find it. So the easiest way to do it is to go to this right side. There is a little triangle right here. This will open up Outliner. So you can click on the canopy object and press F on your keyboard. So with F you can move to it. So you can use Rhino navigation, and then you can push one key so that it moves slower, or 2 key for relatively 2 is probably a good speed for you to move around. So you can use Rhino navigation, but whenever it gets lost, just select object and press F on your keyboard so that it's going to it works as a ZSA key on Rhino. Okay, so next thing is so when your computer is running a little bit slow, one thing that you need to think about is go into burger menu and go to preferences. And pretty much the only thing that you want to be careful is that this quality. So this uses a lot of GPU power, and if you have it high, then it gets slower. So right now our model is very simple, so I'm just going to go with ultra, but it's going to be affected by what kind of processor that you have. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to apply materials. So we can just close this one and open up this little triangle next to it, and then open up materials. And then maybe I'm going to start by applying this kind of concrete material to my thing, and then find like metal, like brushed aluminum. Cool. Yeah, brushed aluminum for that. And then glass for my ceiling pieces. So I guess I have to find it from here and then go into this menu, glass. Maybe I can do some kind of pattern glass. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, pattern glass. That's good. And then you can change the material color here as well. Okay, that's kind of cool. And so now we have this, and we can up, but I don't really like the color of this concrete. I want this to be darker. So what you need to do is you can click on this material picker tool, and then click on the object, and then you can go ahead and change color to be a little bit darker. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay, so this part, I guess I can apply some other materials like wood, maybe. This is a nice wood for the foundation. That's cool. Okay, and then you can select like a bunch of different, try a lot of different materials, and then see if you can, apply these different materials into it. So this one is kind of interesting. So it's a brick, and the material mapping is not that perfect, but I guess it's okay. Select material picker, and then you can change the scale of material here. Okay, so that's quite nice. Also, I think that the proportion of the material on this one is kind of stretched. So what you need to do is you can click on this as a material picker, and then try changing the UVs right here from object UV. So if you change it to cubic UVs, typically it won't show that kind of stretching. So that's nice for materials that has different type of things. And so you can go ahead and like apply different types of materials on it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, so that is that. So we have applied materials. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to import the landscape around the site. And this time we are not going to cover the building of the site context in this video, but you can find other tutorials. So to merge the different Twinmotion file to one, you can go into File and then click on Merge, and then open Twinmotion file. And this one is also linked. You can download in the folder. So this is AC Site 01. So this is, and then going to Options. Current landscape will be overwritten. We don't have the current landscape. And then save a copy. You don't really need to save a copy of this site object, so you can just say okay. And we have this Art Center map. So you can click on the starting grid and then just turn it off. And so here we have a beautiful Art Center campus. So right now, our building is in a little bit of space. So what we would like to do is find everything from this folder, and then move this one a little bit towards the edge, and then press F, and then come down, and I would like to get this to be on the ground by lowering. So that's pretty good. Okay, and I also would like to kind of like understand the orientation of this building by in relationship to the main building. So you can just kind of like turn around I think this one should be here, more towards the edge. Okay, so that's pretty good. So that's how we get this situated on the site. So the site is okay, but it's not like super detailed, and so we would like to hide a bunch of things. So first of all, we don't like these buildings in the background, so we would like to change it. So you can go inside of settings here, and then go to location, and you can find background on the right, and then change picture to countryside or mountains is probably good for the Pasadena background. So you can just turn it back on. So that's good. So next thing, this is a really cool feature. So you can kind of like bring your camera up so that it is kind of like overlooking your space around it. And then what we want to do is go into context and then vegetation paint and drop in a bunch of trees and something that is not too tall, and then maybe some some trees. Okay, so these are pretty nice. So I'm just going to select these three in this area, and then click on the paintbrush tool, vegetation paint. And then what you can do is you can paint this area with these vegetations. Cool. So density right now is 30%, and let's try to change this. And then you can find painted vegetations here, and then you can select these again, and then you can increase the density so that you can get more trees around. So let's see if we can see that from the ground. So it's quite nice, but the goal of this is kind of get these trees to surround this building so that it will block a lot of views that will go behind. So I guess in order to do that, we should actually move these whole canopy objects a little bit towards the building. So something like that. And then click on the painted vegetation again, click on the pen tool, and then let's try to paint a little bit more around this building. And then I think in order to do that, we should probably paint with something that is more like a bush type of thing. So mango pine, and then you can go up the area, and then you can find bushes, and then try to drop some bushes that has more density. Yeah, this one's good. So these ones are pretty good. So we have a lot of bushes that are kind of covering the landscape. I think this was a little bit too much. So lower density of this guy, and then but these trees have more density, so you can kind of play it by this, and then you can kind of say age, so how big they are. I think that's good. So this way you can kind of create this kind of forest feel thing. Okay, you can also paint on the other side of the mountain, so that with trees, so that it kind of feels like the continuation of the landscape onto the other side of the area. So you can kind of block this area by doing this, and then but just try not to paint on the building. So if you do this, you can click on the eraser tool, and then you can kind of erase it. So and paint something like that. Okay, so that should be enough for the landscaping. So we're gonna get back to our model. Okay, So that's, that's pretty nice. We have the trees and beautiful, shadows and things like that. And we can find the view by like looking at the building, and so that's good. So now next part is we would like to put some people inside. And so you can find, go back to the library and find characters. And then there are animated humans. Okay. And then there are groups of people. And then there are posed humans. And there's cutouts. Okay. So the short answer to this is that don't use animated humans because they look like video games. So if you put this person and then, in case you render really close to this person, it totally looks like video game. So don't use this, okay, at all. So what I recommend you to do is posed humans are pretty nice, and this character is quite nice. She's got this kind of like very natural outfit and things like that, and she's kind of like saying hi to someone who is sitting on this chair. That's nice, and saying hi to this person. Nice. And so there are a lot of like more natural type of people in this. So this person is sitting here and like talking to this person. So that's pretty cool. And this person can be, she's carrying a suitcase, so no. But there are like really, nice ones inside of this, so try using this. Cutouts are pretty cool. So cutouts are 2D, but still they kind of, orient to the view all the time, and it works pretty well. So, use cutouts. So these people are kind of like standing and talking to each other. So these are pretty cool. So use people in this. And the last thing that I would like to do is to change the sun orientation. So if you click on this and then on the eye mark, right here, the eye mark, and then click on the time of the day, it will give you an option to like really, change the time of the day really easily. And so the thing that I would like to look for is like how the shadow is being casted on the ground. And that's pretty cool. Okay. So change the lighting based on the time of the day. Okay. So that's pretty good. And I would also like to change the weather. So clicking on the weather and, maybe adding a little bit of cloud to it. Don't get it rained or snowed. You can do it, but it's not that great. So, so that's pretty nice. And one thing that I would like to also tell you, a couple of things. So if you go back to Rhino, okay, and then you would like to change this design to like, for example, like make this base a little bit shorter. Okay. Or maybe a little bit higher. Okay, so I'm just going to like, make this change to this model. And then also I would like to add like some kind of new object here. Okay, and then I'm going to like apply like whatever, material. And then, so this is new and updated design. So what you need to do is you have to select everything and then go to File, Export Selected, and then export as exactly the same file name and exactly the same location. Okay, so you need to select exactly the same file name, FBX, and then in location, and replace the file. And then just say okay. So this has updated the file. And then when you go back to Twinmotion and then go into import, all you need to do is click on this recycle button. and that is going to update the design and this thing. So unfortunately, the location had been moved again. So I guess we are going to move this. So we're gonna have to move this one so that it's going to work for this. Okay, so I have put this sphere into the same layer as our chair right here, and that is going to prevent us from deleting one or the other. So Twinmotion is going to always link whatever has the same materials. So if I delete it, then it's going to you're going to lose it. So I guess what you need to do is go back to Rhino and then delete this sphere. Export selected again. And then going back to Twinmotion, I'm going to adjust the people. Seating way that it's a little bit more natural, and find the view that works for you. And now I'm going to go back to Twinmotion and import again. This time the location is okay and the sphere is gone. So now you can kind of like move this person to avoid hiding some of your model, and your model is there, so that's good. So the last part is to export as image. So you can go into this media part and click on image, and then click on create image, and then so this is your first image, okay? And then I'm going to try to find another view that is kind of cool. Okay. And then I am going to create another image, and also I want to have more like a detailed view. So so this is pretty cool. So I'm going to create image. So the last thing that you can do is to go to export and then click on image and then select all these three pieces and then start export. And then you will just select the folder that you want, and that's pretty much it. So I hope this was helpful. The Twinmotion and Rhino are extremely powerful tools for designers to intuitively output ideas. So I hope you will use this for your own design. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.